Have you ever felt your heart break, not emotionally, but physically? I'm talking about actual pain radiating through your chest, a tightness that steals your breath, a weight in your stomach so heavy you could swear it's made of iron. If you've ever been on the receiving end of the silent treatment, you know this agony intimately. You're standing right there, real and visible, speaking words that dissolve into nothing. You're reaching for connection, but the person in front of you has turned you into a ghost. They look straight through you, as if you're made of smoke. You ask a simple question. Silence. You try to apologize for something you can't even name. They turn and walk away. The quiet roars louder than screaming ever could. In that moment, something inside you fractures. You wonder if you're losing your mind. You wonder if you've somehow ceased to be real. Let me tell you something right now. You're not crazy. And the pain you're feeling? It's devastatingly real. Science has uncovered something terrifying about what's happening inside your brain. Neuroscientists discovered that being ignored activates a region called the Anterior Cingulate Cortex, the exact same neural territory that explodes with activity when you shatter a bone or sear your flesh on a hot stove. Your brain literally cannot distinguish between social rejection and physical assault. When someone weaponizes silence against you, they're not just taking a break or needing space, they're inflicting injury. They're committing emotional violence designed to dismantle your sense of what's real. And right now, that weapon is aimed directly at your heart. But here's what they don't want you to discover. You can disarm it completely. You don't have to be a prisoner in their game of silence. You don't have to beg for scraps of their attention. In the next few minutes, we're going to tear apart the dark psychology behind this manipulation. I'll show you exactly why you feel that desperate, clawing urge to fix things, and why giving in to that urge is the worst mistake you could possibly make. Most importantly, I'll teach you the counterintuitive psychological shift that turns their silence into your power. By the end of this, you'll no longer fear the quiet. You'll understand it. You'll own it. Let's begin. Think back to the last time someone froze you out. What did you do? Did you sit back calmly and give them space? Of course not. If you're like most people, anxiety hit you like a wave. You fired off a text, then another. Then maybe you called once, twice, 3 times. You became an archaeologist, excavating your own words, searching for the exact moment everything went wrong. You turned detective, building a case against yourself. This isn't weakness. This isn't neediness. This is your biology screaming at you. Evolution carved us into social creatures for survival. 10,000 years ago, being ignored by your tribe wasn't an inconvenience, it was a death sentence. You couldn't survive winter alone. You couldn't defend against predators without the group. So your brain developed an alarm system so sensitive it borders on paranoid. When you sense disconnection, your amygdala, your brain's ancient fear center, slams the panic button. It shrieks one message: danger. Fix this now or die. That chest pain I mentioned? That's not metaphorical. That's your body physically responding to the threat of social annihilation. The person ignoring you is triggering a primal terror of abandonment hardwired into your DNA. And here's the twisted part. They know it, but here's where everything goes sideways. Because your brain is drowning in panic chemicals, logic shuts down. You start bargaining like a hostage negotiator. You apologize for crimes you didn't commit. You accept blame for things that never happened, just to make the silence stop. You trade your dignity for connection like it's currency. You convince yourself that if you just explain it one more time, if you just find the right words, they'll finally understand. But they understand perfectly. They hear every word you say. They're choosing silence. And once you understand why they make that choice, everything changes. Now, I need you to grasp a critical distinction. Because I hear this objection constantly. But maybe they just need space? Maybe they're overwhelmed? Listen carefully. There's a canyon-sized difference between taking space and deploying the silent treatment. Healthy space comes with communication. A healthy partner says, "I'm furious right now and I can't talk without saying things I'll regret. Give me an hour to cool down, then we'll work through this." That's respect. That's protecting the relationship even in anger. The silent treatment is its evil twin. It's ambiguous, it's sudden, it has no expiration date. It's a trapdoor that opens beneath your feet without a creak of warning. Taking space aims to resolve conflict. The silent treatment aims to maintain dominance. When they go silent, they become judge, jury, and executioner. You're the prisoner in the dock, waiting for a verdict that may never come. They control everything because they decide when communication resumes. They decide when or if you're forgiven, and they're watching you the entire time. They see those desperate texts rolling in. They see the missed calls piling up. And every single time you reach out, you're feeding them what they crave: validation. You're proving that they are essential to your happiness. You're rewarding the exact behavior that's destroying you. But the damage cuts deeper than the moment of silence itself. The real danger is what happens to you gradually, like rust eating through metal. This is where the psychological erosion truly begins. When you're subjected to this pattern repeatedly, something insidious happens. You start editing yourself. You become a smaller, quieter version of who you are. You stop voicing needs because you're terrified of triggering another deep freeze. You start walking on eggshells, your eyes constantly scanning their face for microscopic signs of displeasure. You become hypervigilant, always on guard. You lose your voice. Psychologists call this self-silencing. You think you're keeping peace, but you're actually waging war against your own soul. You begin to believe that your feelings are burdens too heavy for anyone to carry. You begin to believe that you are too much, too sensitive, too demanding, too present. The silence teaches you that your existence is conditional. It teaches you that love is something you must earn through perfect compliance. This is gaslighting in its purest form. It warps your reality. You start questioning everything. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I'm asking for too much. The silence becomes a mirror, but it's a carnival mirror that distorts everything it reflects. It shows you a small, broken, apologetic version of yourself. But I'm here to tell you the truth. That reflection is a lie. That's not who you are. That's who they need you to believe you are to keep you controlled. And the moment you see through this illusion, everything shifts. Because the silent treatment only works if you're afraid of it. What happens when fear evaporates? What happens when you stop chasing them? The answer is something they're terrified you'll discover. So what do? How do you win a game that's been rigged against you from the start? The answer is elegantly simple, but it will be the hardest thing you've ever done. You stop playing. You drop the rope. When someone gives you the silent treatment, every instinct in your body screams at you to make noise. You want to cry, plead, demand answers, force them to acknowledge you exist. But remember, noise is exactly what they're counting on. Your distress is the fuel that powers their control. So you must do what they never expect. You must embrace the silence. Don't send that text burning a hole in your mind. Don't make that call your fingers are itching to dial. Don't send mutual friends on reconnaissance missions. Instead, recognize their silence for what it really is. A gift. They've handed you time. They've created space. Take it, claim it, use it for yourself. This is what I call the oxygen mask principle. On an airplane during an emergency, you must secure your own mask before helping others. Right now, your relationship is losing cabin pressure. You're suffocating yourself, trying to force air into their lungs while you slowly pass out. Stop. Put your own mask on first. Breathe deeply. What did you love before you became consumed by the need for their approval? Go back to that. Read the book Gathering Dust on your nightstand. Go for that run you've been putting off. Call the friends you've been neglecting. Fill the void they created with your own vibrant life. When you do this, two powerful things happen simultaneously. First, you detach. You discover that you can not only survive without their constant validation, you can thrive. The fear of abandonment begins to dissolve because you haven't abandoned yourself. You're still here, still standing, still whole. The monster that terrorized you from the shadows was just a coat hanging in the closet. Second, and this is where the magic happens, the entire dynamic flips. A manipulator uses silence to make you chase them through the dark. But if you don't chase, their silence loses all its power. It becomes useless, pathetic even. They're just a person standing alone in an empty room, refusing to speak to no one. It looks absurd. More importantly, it feels empty to them. Suddenly, they're the ones isolated. They're the ones wondering what you're doing, who you're with, why you're not breaking down their door. They're the ones drowning in uncertainty. By refusing to fight in their war, you've disarmed them completely. You've turned their weapon into your shield. You've shown them that your happiness isn't a faucet they can turn on and off at will. Your happiness is an ocean, vast and deep, and they're just a visitor on the shore. But I need to warn you about what comes next. When you stop chasing, when you reclaim your peace, the silence will likely shatter suddenly. They'll come back, but don't expect an apology. Don't expect accountability. Instead, they'll return with a test. They might act like nothing happened, like the days or weeks of torture never occurred. Or they'll flip the script entirely, accusing you of being cold, distant, or punishing them. They'll try to yank you back into the cycle with expert precision. This manipulation tactic is called the Hoover Maneuver, named after the vacuum cleaner, because that's exactly what they're doing, trying to suck you back into their dysfunction. Do not fall for it. You've seen behind the curtain now. You know the truth. The silence was never about love, healing, or processing emotions. It was always about control. And you are no longer under their control. You are free. Now, I have a question for you. When they come back, and they will come back, do you know the 3 specific phrases they'll use to make you feel guilty for their silence? Most people don't recognize these phrases, and that's exactly how they get trapped all over again. In the next video, I'm going to reveal those exact manipulation phrases and give you the psychological script you need to shut them down instantly. You don't want to miss that. Subscribe right now and hit that bell, because your freedom depends on what comes next.